Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
The Philadelphia 76ers dropped Game 4 to the Washington Wizards by a final score of 122 to 114. The Sixers now lead the series 3-1, and this was one of the weirdest playoff games I have ever seen. And the Sixers should be all right as long as Joel Embiid comes back. But man, oh man, there are some things we need to talk about. What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome back to Philly Take with RB. You know what to do. Smash the like, hit the subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We will be covering the entire Sixers playoffs here on the channel, and there is just so much running through my head, and I don't want to go on for 5 hours. I don't know where to start with this one. Like I said, this is all going to connect back to being the weirdest game maybe I've ever seen. Definitely brought back some painful memories. Let's start with this. This was the Wizards' best shot, and let's not overreact, okay? Joel Embiid went out early. If he stays in the rest of the game, the outcome is probably different, but he was out. Russell Westbrook shot 3 for 19 from the field with 19 points, 13 for 16 from the line, and had 21 rebounds, his career high, or tied his career high, and 14 assists. Russell Westbrook 3 for 19 and had an insane triple-double in 42 minutes. Bradley Beal shot 9 for 23 with 27 points. Didn't even shoot that well. Davis Bertans was out. Gafford had 5 blocks. Hachimura had 20. And Raul Neto hit a couple clutch shots, and Robin Skyhook Master Lopez hit like 7 hook shots, came in with 16 off the bench, wasn't even going to play a lot of minutes. Gafford and Alex Len both got into foul trouble, and Lopez was kind of the emergency button, and he comes in and starts producing. This was just such a weird game. The Wizards out-rebounded us, out-assisted us, more steals, more blocks. You know, shot 37.5% from 3. They absolutely dominated us in every category, and this was their best shot, especially without Joel Embiid playing more than 11 minutes. And they got it done, and it was still close, and the Sixers still had a chance to win this game. So let's not overreact. We will win the series. We'll be okay as long as Joel comes back. But again, this was just one of the weirdest games ever. And we'll start with Embiid. Like I said, hopefully he'll be okay. According to John Clark, they think he's going to be okay. Just probably going to get some more pictures done on his knee or whatever happened, because he grabbed his knee, grabbed his back. They were calling it knee soreness, so hopefully he is okay. And he needs to come back, because we saw it last night. It was evident that the Sixers really are nothing without Joel Embiid, and we know that. And in addition to making it such an even weirder night, the Sixers plane broke down on the way back to Philadelphia, where we're going to play with 100% capacity, which I'm excited for, in Game 5. But we had to take a bus back to Philly. We didn't even get back until 6 a.m. in the morning, 6 a.m. So it was very, very weird. But anyway, getting into the game now, this was so bad, and I don't want to get off on the wrong foot here. Like, Doc Rivers has had an amazing series. He's coached very well, made good adjustments. Ben Simmons has played well all series. But I'm going to... actually, you know what? I'm going to start with the officiating. My gosh, this was the worst officiating game I have ever seen in my life. And to back it up with statistics, this was the most fouls ever called in a game. 57. 57 fouls. If this is the product that Adam Silver and the NBA want to put out, then by all means, go ahead. But you're going to lose ratings. Viewers, this is a playoff game. These were some of the softest fouls I've ever seen, whether it's Ben picking up his 4th, running into a screen, whether it's Danny Green on a rebound at the end of the game, whether it's Korkmaz plucking Westbrook. Like, there were just so many fouls, and I've never seen anything like this. I really hope this does not carry into the next round. I'm not going to say we lost because of the refs, but they were definitely a part in this one. They were a big, big part in this one, whether it's physically or making a guy play scared, you know, with 4 or 5 fouls. The refs were absolutely atrocious, and I'm really hoping this doesn't carry over. But that's it with the refs. It was just so piss poor, and it seemed like they wanted to extend this to a Game 5. It really did. But anyway, I have my blame on this game mainly with Doc Rivers. Now, In terms of Ben Simmons, this was a game of runs back and forth, back and forth. The Wizards took a big lead in the third. We thought that they were going to essentially pull off. And then in the fourth quarter, our bench unit comes and they bring us back. And it ends up bringing all these painful memories up of Simmons late in the game. And, he goes to the line 4 times in a row, 3 because they intentionally fouled, which Scott Brooks, a coach who I think made Simmons shoot like 29 free throws his rookie year, made him go to the line, and he said he would do it. And I can't blame the Washington Wizards for doing it, because I would probably do the same thing outside of the last 2 minutes. But Scott Brooks elects to go with Simmons. He goes to the line 3 times by intentional foul. He goes another one by just getting fouled naturally, and he splits every single time. And here's where I can be mad with Ben Simmons. I can't really, Ben's had a great series. I can't really say that his lack of aggression was because of Ben Simmons this game. Honestly, the refs put him in purgatory. They literally put him in jail because any little thing he did, he was getting fouled. He had 5 fouls in the fourth and 1 more and he was out. But making the free throws, man, we've said this since game 1. It's going to be an issue, not only in this series, but later on. Better series, better teams. Ben has to hit his free throws. I don't know what it is anymore. I don't know. At this point, I've accepted, at least for the sake of these playoffs, Ben will not shoot a jump shot. It's not in his arsenal. He can do it. He just won't. But in terms of the free throws late in the game, you have to make free throws. He did it for a stretch earlier this year. Now he can't shoot them again. I don't know what else to say. I'm just going to lose my mind over it. So I just got to stay calm. But you got to hit your free throws, man. Against the Brooklyn Nets, you have to be better. And that's where I can have my beef with Ben Simmons in this game. Yes, he only had 5 shot attempts. He wasn't as aggressive as he needed to be. But I feel like if he did anything, the refs were going to call the last foul and get him out of there. But Ben Simmons had 13 points and 12 rebounds and 3 assists. He wasn't even setting his guys. He just didn't have that aggressive tone to him. But I don't know how much of that was because of the foul trouble. But the free throws have to be made. But when it comes to Doc Rivers, man, he lost us this game. He lost us this game, and he made it 10 times worse with what he said in the post-game press conference. We'll start with the game. The rotations were the worst I've ever seen. You brought Mike Scott in to start the second half. I know we were limited. Dwight was in foul trouble. Joel went out early in this game. You were limited. Ben was in foul trouble. But come on, Doc. Mike Scott getting meaningful minutes, 17 minutes, 0 for 4 from the field. Tyrese Maxey, George Hill, and Matisse Thybulle were sparks off the bench. George Hill and Matisse Thybulle. George Hill had 14 points. Matisse had 8 points, a couple threes. Tyrese Maxey had a couple threes, a big shot at a buzzer. 15 points off the bench. He provided the spark. You took Tyrese out, benched him in the fourth. George Hill had a huge first half. He didn't even come in until 2 minutes in the third quarter, and then he got taken out in the fourth. And you know what, man? You mess with the rotations. It was the worst I've ever seen. Furkan ended up coming to the game. He was a positive as a spark. Shake Milton is absolutely done. He's toast. I don't know what happened to Shake Milton, but it's over for Shake. He cannot play anymore. But these rotations were so bad. I don't know why you take Tyrese Maxey out. You rock with the hot hand like you have been. George Hill could have helped this team down the stretch. But Doc Rivers, what he did with Ben Simmons down the stretch, man. Let's go ahead and look at a quote from Doc Rivers. We have a lot of quotes. He says he dislikes the Ben narrative. Blah, 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 is scoring free throws, never thought about pulling them. Well, that is a failure as a coach, okay? And I know you have the elite defense. You want to keep them in and all this good stuff. And ideally, you want to. But you watch him go to the line 4 times in a row. They're intentionally fouling him, and you don't make an adjustment there. I don't care what anybody says. Ben is not our second option on the floor. He's not our third. He's our fourth, essentially. He's our fourth option. I know he creates scoring. He didn't do a lot of it last night, but he does create scoring. But in that situation, you're telling me against the Brooklyn Nets, against the Milwaukee Bucks, you're going to leave Ben in and take 1 for 2 every time down the floor. And I feel like Doc is trying to deflect pressure off Ben, but that's not what we need, man. Ben is he's supposed to be a superstar on this team, and we expect more of him. And he says, if I'm Ben at some point, I get tired of it. You guys keep the narrative going. We're going to keep playing. And here's exactly what proves it. He says, Or analytically, I'll take a point per possession. I mean, how stupid do you have to be? And Doc Rivers, I love what Doc's done this year. He's had a great series, but come on, man. 1 for 2. First off, analytically, let's think common sense wise. You cannot take 1 for 2 down the floor, and I can't even fault Ben that much. I know for some reason he just can't shoot them. I want him to shoot 1,000 a day. But I can't blame Ben for being in there just getting fouled. You know, he said he didn't mind hacking Simmons. Well, you're going to have to mind it because you got to hit the free throws late. They are valuable. We could have won the game if you hit them. But analytically, you'll take a point per possession. I mean, come on, Doc. You cannot be this delusional and to defend and make excuses like this after that loss. It's inexcusable. Doc also said, in terms of the narrative, he said, it's insane. Ben's not a 40-point guy. I don't understand why it's not sinking in this city. Well, let me tell you something, Doc. This is not LA. Ben Simmons, once again, was a number 1 overall pick. He is a max contract player. We've come to accept what he is right now, but we got to see this team win. He's played in 2 playoff series before. He's been taken out. So far in this series, he's been doing other things, getting involved offensively, but the free throws down the stretch. We're not asking Ben to be a 40-point player, Doc. We are asking for 15 points, which is not asking too much, continuing to be aggressive, which he has done the majority of this series, and I'll give him a bit of a pass last night because of the refs. But we're allowed to expect a 5th-year player to at least be able to hit a free throw late in a game when you're a max contract player, Doc. That is not asking too much. We're not asking him to be a 40-point player. Maybe one day a 30-point player, because with his potential, he can be an MVP. He can be a superstar. When we brought Ben and Joel and we upgraded the team around them, it was about Ben and Joel's team. Not Joel the MVP, Ben Simmons the elite defender. With how great Ben is defensively, with how great he can rebound and facilitate and everything he can do, we're not going to give him a pass and just act like this guy doesn't have the potential to be a superstar. I know he plays winning ball. I know they've won a lot of games together. But in the playoffs is where it matters. And if we fail to get it done again, and we have great role players around like Danny Green and Seth Curry, then where do we go? It's about him developing a shot, which we aren't even talking about anymore. And it's just frustrating that we're giving him this excuse. Doc has been great with everyone, but stop with the excuses. We celebrate all the things he does well. You're allowed to recognize everything he does well, and at the same time say, why can't our 5th-year point guard hit a damn free throw? He made it even worse by going on, and let's listen to this audio clip.
Again, with Ben, we're going to keep him on the floor. Unless you guys want us to bench him the whole game. If anybody wants us to do that, just let me know. And then I'll know you don't know basketball.
Unbelievable, Doc. Unbelievable. Unless you want us to bench him the whole game. Who the hell said we want to bench him the whole game? We're talking about going to the line 4 times in a row. That's just an a-hole say. Like, he's just trying to be smart there, and I don't appreciate that. And you know, Doc, you are the coach, but come on, don't act like we don't know basketball. Like, we're watching the games as well. We're watching this happen. We've watched the guy for the last 5 years. We know what Ben can be. We know his potential. And to just let him off the hook, where is the accountability? You've been great with accountability with everybody else. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but come on, Doc Rivers. This is just ridiculous. Excuse me. I mean, Doc Rivers lost this game with this terrible. This was one of the worst coach games I've seen from Doc Rivers. And it just has to get better, man. To just go ahead and just leave it like he didn't even say Ben can improve his free throws. We're going to have him shoot. No, he let him off the hook on every single thing. And again, we know what Ben can do, but it's very, very tiring, Doc. I can't even put as much blame on Ben. It's on Doc for being this soft right now. And this is just not like, come on, man. Like, I'm tired of people letting this off the hook just because we win games because Joel Embiid is so damn great. I'm tired of us letting this off the hook just because we have a great team now that can win games. No, if Ben Simmons was a great player offensively, do you know what our record would be? Like, we wouldn't lose any games. And I love Ben. I am a Ben stan. but I'm not going to be a delusional fanboy about it. And that is exactly what Doc is doing right there. And it's just very, very tiring, man, because we are trying to win a championship. Sure, we can win all the regular season games, but when it matters most, can we get it done? I'm a little bit skeptical about that. And again, I've accepted that Ben will not shoot a jump shot, and I want to see what this team can do without that. That's fine. I'm not even bringing that up anymore. But to say that we don't know basketball because we expect our fifth-year superstar max contract player to hit a free throw late in the damn game and you to make the damn adjustment. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. Doc Rivers lost us this game, and all I can do is hope we'll be better. That's all I can hope for. Tobias Harris was also very bad. 8 for 24, 21 points. Tobias has to step up without Joel. Essentially, going back, like, this was just such a weird playoff game, and without Joel Embiid, we are not going anywhere. And I feel like Joel masks some of the deficiencies of this team sometimes. He really does. Tobias was terrible. Curry had a weak game. Danny Green had a bad game. Like, even with all this coming together, we still had a chance to finish this off. It would have been nice for extra rest for Joel. And I know it's very frustrating. I just don't like the attitude that I saw from Doc Rivers in this. And again, we will be fine. This team will be absolutely fine. We're probably going to win the series next game. I'm not worried about that. I'm just talking about later on. We have these players. We expect the best out of them. This is Philadelphia, man. And we're trying to win a championship. We love all our guys, but we also know what we can expect. Other than that, man, the Sixers just could not get it done. And the way they squandered that game late in the game, it felt like 3 years ago. It felt like the old hack of Simmons days, and it was just frustrating. And all I can say is that I hope he'll improve the free throws. And I hope the rhythm will get better, man. I hope it'll get better, but if not, I just don't see a way you can leave them in late in the game if they're just going to foul us like that. Of course we need the defense, and Ben can be a top 5 player in the league. He really can. But right now, it's fair for us to act this way. That's pretty much all I got on this game, man. Shame on Doc Rivers for saying the things that he said. And I know he was limited in what he had, but you just don't make excuses like that. Hopefully we come out, take the series next game. We'll be on, do what we have to do. I'm just praying that Joel Embiid's okay and that he comes back. If he is, he's the anchor. He will take us where we need to go. But Sixers drop game 4 in a pretty frustrating manner. And we'll be back next game. We'll see what happens, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments section. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.